Yay! Coach Hoppa here from thedjcoach.com. Today we're going to be talking about this basic scratching. Now, a lot of times scratching can get a bad rap. That's that scratchy noise, or sometimes people have a lot of myths around scratching, like you can't scratch if you're playing tech house, or you can't scratch if you're playing dance music. And that's completely untrue. In fact, as a DJ, this is a great thing to add to your repertoire. Certain genres, you hear scratching more often. However, learning this skill set can give you a ton of confidence behind the decks. It can actually be a really cool thing for you to be able to practice. So let's jump in. So first off, the tracks that we're going to use today, we're going to pull up scratch beat 1. I'm going to put that on the right side in this case, and then I'm going to pull up this scratch sample. I'm going to show you what this is all about. This is just a sound. So all it is that's it. It's just a quick sound, and this is a long sound. Now this is a very popular sound that people will scratch with because it's got such a long tail and it's got so much noise in it. So it's really easy to be able to cut it up when you start incorporating the crossfader. Today we're not going to use the crossfader. We're really only just using this sound. So here's what I want to show you though, is we want to be able to get to the very beginning of the sound, and that's what we want here. So what we want here is the beginning of the sound. So when I pull the platter back, I want to make sure I get all the way back to the very beginning of the sound. I don't want to be too far back. You see how there's that space there? And I don't want to be too far into the sound where it sounds muddy. I want to be at the very beginning of the sound. This is often referred to as the tip of the sample. You'll notice that I'm holding my hand on the platter. I'm not letting go. I'm holding my hand on the platter, and I'm moving the platter back and forth. And I'm starting with a forward direction. So moving forward and then back. And trying to keep a consistent sound. So a couple of other tips here. This is not a finger motion. It's not a wrist motion. This is a full arm motion. So I'm moving my full arm, and in this way I have a lot more control of what it is that I'm scratching with. Now, you may think that you can go faster if you use your fingers, but you will lose control. And as we're building foundation here, we want to be able to do all sorts of different types of scratches, right? So in order to do this, we've got to get our timing down and we've got to get our control down. And this is super important. Don't start incorporating the crossfader until you've got the platter hand down. Once you've got the platter hand down, now incorporating the crossfader is going to make more sense. And again, we're not even going to really cover the crossfader in this particular video. Okay, so this is our basic scratch. This is also called the baby scratch, but we need to break it down a little bit more, and we need to talk about some basic music theory before we jump in and actually scratch to a beat. So I'm just going to go over some basic music theory, basic note structure. Some of you might know this already. It might be a bit of a review. Others of you, this is the first time hearing this. So I'm going to break this down real quick. So we've got beats, bars, and phrases. A beat is, I define as a head nod. So I know that sounds pretty silly, but every time you hear a beat, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are all beats. That was 8 beats. A bar is a group of beats, 4 beats to a bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. And then a phrase is 4 bars, which is equal to 16 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's one phrase. I'm going to draw it out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So this could be said 3 different ways, and they're all correct. One phrase, 4 bars, or 16 beats. Awesome. So now what we want to do is let's zoom in a little bit more, and we're just going to talk about this first bar. So we're going to start to talk about some notes. When it comes to notes, I'm going to put in whole notes, half notes, quarter, eighth, 16th. So I used to play the drums, and when I would play the drums, I would have 2 different drumsticks. Forward 2, 3, 4, back 2, 3, 4, forward 2, 3, 4, back 2, 3, 4. Now, when it comes to half notes, I'll put the forward in. Where do we think the back goes? right here, right halfway through this. So forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And actually, this would be best said forward 2, back 2, forward 2, back 2, forward 2, back 2. You see there's a beat in between. Okay, so let's go to quarter notes. Quarter notes would be, I'll put the forward in, where's the back go? Right, it's on the next beat. So essentially, you see that there's a sound on every beat. On every head nod, there's a sound. All right, so this is going to get a little crazy here. There's a sound on every beat. I'm going to now zoom in a little bit more just so that we're looking at only one bar. We're really only looking at this first bar now. So let me just draw a line here. All right, so eighth notes. I'll put the forward in. Where's the back go? In between the beats, right? So there's essentially a forward on every beat. And sixteenths would be even crazier, right? So it looks, at some point now, this looks like I'm just scribbling, but that's forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, or 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a. So this is a whole note, a half note, a quarter note, an eighth, and a 16th. So if we look at this, how many sounds are in one bar of whole notes? Just one, right? Half notes, there's 2. Quarters, there's 4. Eighth notes, yeah, you get the idea. 16ths, there's 16 notes. All right, now let me just demonstrate all of the notes for you. So we'll start with whole notes. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4. Halves, forward, 2, back, 2. Forward, 2, back. Quarters. Eighths. 16ths. Back to whole notes, 2, back. That's it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick exercise, and we're going to do an exercise called follow the leader. So you're just following along to what it is that I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and put the music theory away for now, and we're just going to go ahead and scratch. You're going to follow along to what it is that I'm doing. I'm going to play a beat. You do not need to play a beat on your side. I'll play the beat. All you need to do is worry about copying me. So I'm going to take the first 2 beats, and then you're going to take the second 2 beats, and you're just following along. You're just mimicking what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with forward, 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 forward. You're right after me. Forward, 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 forward. You're just copying along. You ready? Here we go. The first thing we need to do is we need to lock this beat in. So really lock this beat into your body so you know where this is at. You know where it's at? Good. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start with the first 2 beats. You're taking the next 2 beats. And forward, 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 forward. This is just an eighth note. Forward, 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 forward. I'm going to switch it up now. Forward, back, forward, back. This is a quarter note. Forward, back. Make sure you're moving to this. Forward, back. Forward, back. You got it. Forward, back. If you get lost, just stop for a second. Back to the eighth note. Forward, forward. Forward, forward. Forward. 16th. Yeah. Shorten it up. Notice my distance. It's a lot shorter on the platter. Yep. Back to eighths. Forward, forward. Forward, forward. Forward, forward. Forward, forward. 16. Yep. Okay, combo. Oh. 8 to a 16th. Forward, forward, forward. Okay. Then we're going to reverse it. Aha. Back to that eighth. One more time. I lied. One more time. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Good job. Now, for a lot of you, that was the first time you've ever scratched, and awesome. Like, it's only going to get better. So this is something that does take repetition in order for it to really lock in. And this is all muscle memory. So even if you're walking around the house, you're walking around throughout your day, practicing this motion, I know this sounds crazy. When you're over here air scratching, you're actually teaching your body the right muscle memory. So don't be walking around the house scratching like this, because you wouldn't be doing that, right? But keep the right form here. You'll see this sometimes when people walk around the house swinging the golf club, an imaginary golf club, or a tennis racket or whatnot, right? This is all muscle memory. So we've got to practice this. Same thing with our right hand. We're going to practice on both sides so that we got that down. And we're not going to worry about the crossfader quite yet. But this can unlock, just this foundation, this fundamental can unlock so much when it comes to your own creativity and how you can explore what the world of scratching looks like. I'll see you guys on the next one.